BV550C, new official Mikasa beach volleyball on the international tour, replacing the Mikasa VLS300. I have it in my hands. I'm gonna review it and let's see what it's like. So, is it here to make the sport better, or is it maybe not? Should we be thinking about these older balls and what we can learn from them? Or should we be thinking about something beyond all of this? I don't know, we'll see. So, before I got this ball in my hand, I had a plan for this video. My plan was that this video was going to be like a sort of a guide for you guys, so that whenever you get your hands on this ball, you will sort of already know what it's like, and you might, you know, if you're playing with one of these balls right now and you're going to play with this later, you sort of know what to expect and maybe how to train today so that the transition to this ball will be easier. That was my plan. But I got this ball in my hands and that plan went out the window. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna present some thoughts and opinions on this ball in this video, and before I feel comfortable doing that, I'm gonna just share 3 things about where I'm coming from when I'm doing this. So first one is, I am who I am, and I'm one person and I have one person's opinion. I'm Alex from LearnBeachVolleyballFast.com. YouTube channel, podcast. I'm a beach volleyball coach, a passionate one. I love our sport and I love making people enjoy our sport. So that's where I'm coming from. I have my opinion. My opinion might be right, it might be wrong, it might change in the future, who knows. But that's what I'm presenting today. Second thing is that I am not sponsored. I'm not getting any kickback from any of these brands. So I'm trying to make an unbiased and as level-headed of a review as possible, where I just present my honest opinion with hopefully some good arguments behind my opinions. All in the spirit of trying to create a review that is just as truthful as possible. I'm gonna say what I think, why I think that, and then we can discuss it further. And if I'm wrong with something, I will change my mind. And the third thing is that I have now played with this ball for 2 days. So I have a first impression and I have a little bit more. That's what it is. I'm gonna do as well as I can. Obviously things could change in the future, you know. Things can happen with the ball, things can happen with me. Things might change, who knows, we'll see. So now that all of that is out of the way, I can say that I have mixed feelings about this ball. I think I'm not the only one. From some of stuff I've seen on Instagram from some professionals that I've also played with this ball, they also seem to have a little bit mixed feelings, at least some of them. I can't speak for all. So mixed feelings means it can be something good or something bad or something in between. Let's start with the neutral. So this ball plays roughly the same as the Mikasa, the old Mikasa. There's not a huge difference. You don't need to learn a bunch of new things to play with this one. So when I played, obviously I tried to feel it, but I also asked the people I played with, and everyone was used to this one from beforehand, and no one was really struggling with this or like, you know, having to learn a bunch of new things to be able to play as well as they played before. People that have experienced these 2 balls might know that there is a difference in how they behave in the wind, how they behave when you float serve them and whatnot. Like it's still the same game, but it's kind of not the same game. People that are used to both are probably much quicker at adapting in between them, but someone that has only played with one of them for their whole life and then they change to the other one, they go like, whoa, what happened with the sport that I thought I knew how to play? Anyway, so the neutral news is that, I mean, in some ways it's good news, I guess, for some people, but there's not a huge difference in the playing experience between these. So I don't need to create like a guide on what to do now for the next few months to be able to play as well as possible with this one. If you know how to play with this one, you will know how to play with this one. All right, so the good thing about this ball is I believe it maybe doesn't float less than this one. This one is known to float a lot. Wilson is known to float less. This one maybe doesn't float less than this one, but I think it floats in a more manageable way. I don't know, maybe it's like it still moves, but it doesn't move as quickly as it's kind of hard to put your finger on it what it is. But I think it's the case. Maybe in the future I will understand this better. But I think this floats, maybe not less, but in a more manageable way. And I think this is a positive for the sport, actually. I think, especially in certain conditions, certain winds, in indoor beach volleyball, this is known to float like a tiny bit too much sometimes. It's just like when even the professionals can like crazy shank a service eve, maybe it's too much. So I think in that way it does feel a little bit easier to pass this one, and that might be good for the sport actually. So I don't know if you see there's like dimples on the surface, and physics and stuff that I won't go into here, but it creates like a more stable wind flow around the ball. You see this in golf balls, for example, also, I think for the same reason. So this is a new thing. Mikasa has it in their, I think their 2 latest versions of the indoor volleyball, and they took it to the beach, and I think this can be a good thing actually. Now I have to say one thing, which is that I've only played with this ball so far in one climate. And I know sometimes it's like things change between climates, so it's gonna take longer before I have a full knowledge of this. But one more thing I wanted to say is that, so this one is known to float a lot. Like if you float serve this one, it will move a lot. This one is known to move less if you float serve it. But on the other hand, if you topspin serve this, it's known to dive a lot, or like go aggressively down from the topspin. Whereas this one is known to not do that as much. And again, physics, I'm not gonna go into that, but they could be argued as being like on the same scale, but opposite ends. So if this one floats less than this one, does it then go down more aggressively with topspin? I can't say for sure yet, but I think it does not really, because of how it's constructed. I can make another video if you guys want, but I'm gonna try to keep this a little bit short, and I mean it's gonna be long, but it's not super long. So yeah, I won't go into that now. But I think it doesn't like super go down from topspin like that one does. And so we have come to the bad part. There is a bad part, maybe that's the one you've been waiting for, I don't know. So I struggle a little bit explaining this, but there's certain things that human beings value, I believe, that we just like that makes our lives nicer and better. And maybe people that are picky about their clothes will understand me better. But with clothes there can be like a feeling of niceness. Like a very good piece of clothing, according to me, has like nice fabric that's nice to your skin. It's fitting well. And it just feels like someone designed it to make your life better, like to make your life nicer. You compare that to putting some shit clothes on that, the fabric is not nice and it's like ill-fitted and whatnot. Like you just get this sort of anxious feeling in your body, and then you change to something that's nice and you're just like, finally, like this is how life is supposed to be. It's like a luxurious feeling that you get. Historically, all the professional beach volleyballs that I've experienced, whether it's the Mikasa, the Wilson, Malton, Spalding, whatever else, they've always had this like inviting feeling. Like, you grab the ball and you're just like, this is nice. Like, I like this. It's just like inviting me to play, inviting me to have fun with it, inviting me to engage with it. It's just like, so clothing is fabric and it's against your skin. This is also fabric. It's not a piece of clothing, but it's also fabric and it's against your skin in various ways. You hold it in your hands, you hit it. And maybe I'm the only one, but I was attracted to beach volleyball over other sports because the ball was so nice. Like it was, I don't know, it just invited me and made me feel like this is something I want to do. So this quality, which I've seen in professional beach volleyballs, and in very nice clothes. This quality I do not see in when I go to the supermarket or the sports store and I see some like cheap shit beach volleyballs or like these replicas of these famous balls or whatever. I just don't feel like someone, you know, I don't buy these balls, but I grab them and I you know, bump them around in the store a little bit. And it just doesn't give me the same feeling. It's just like, no, there was no one designing this thing to make it be inviting for me, to make me like want to have fun with it. It's just like plasticky and like hard and just not nice, doesn't bounce the same, stuff like that. Unfortunately, this ball doesn't invite me. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't. Would this have been the official ball when I started playing? I think there's a chance. I don't know, but I think there's a smaller chance that I would have started playing, honestly. Touching the ball is the first thing you do when you start playing the sport. I kind of think it should invite you. So yeah, the feel of this ball is different. I believe it's because of the coating of the ball, and I also believe it's maybe you cannot see, but it's there's some padding under the coating that I think both of those for various reasons make it feel the way it feels. This could change once it gets worn in a little bit more. Like I have a brand new here, and it's more slippery than the one I played with for 2 days. Could change a little bit with time, but I doubt it will change so much that I feel that it invites me. Again, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, maybe not. But seriously, when I thought about this video, I thought about a little kid that gets a beach volleyball as a birthday present or Christmas present or whatever. Would the kid want to sleep with the ball? Like, just like, you know, a kid gets their piece of toy that start thinking they're gonna use it, and they just actually wanna go and sleep with it. That should be the measurement. Is the fabric good enough for a kid to want to sleep with it? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. You think about it and let me know in the comments. So yeah, there you have my review. The neutral ball doesn't play so differently from that one. You don't need to learn a bunch of new tricks to learn to play with this. The good, it might float a little bit less or in a more manageable way. And the bad, it does have a different feel to it that, in my opinion, in the worst case, might even repel people from our sport rather than attract people to the sport. So with all of that being said, I want to take the chance to plant one more seed into the beach volleyball world, which is what if we took the good from all these balls and put it together? So I think the good thing with this one is that it floats the right amount. The weak thing with the Wilson, my opinion, is that it's not waterproof enough. It gets heavy when it rains. That was massively fixed with this one. This one, actually, when you talk about the material, like, people might like the Wilson a little bit more than the Mikasa, because the Mikasa is a little bit more waterproof, which means it's a little bit more plastic. But in my opinion, this still has this nice leather feeling to it, but it also repels the water. So the dimples, again, make the ball float a little bit more manageable, kind of like the Wilson. So the seed I wanted to plant was, what if there was a ball like this one with dimples that would float like these two, it would be waterproof like these two, and it would have the nice feeling in the leather like these two. That's my seed I wanted to plant. So yeah, in the end, my general opinion, which could change in the future, is that I unfortunately think that in the short term, this ball is gonna hurt the sport more than help. Maybe in the long run, we can learn something from it and it will turn into something good. The last time I made a video like this, which is, I mean, typically I make beach volleyball tutorials this is like a commentary on something that is happening in the beach volleyball world. The last time I made a video like this was last summer, when the FIVB went and changed some hand setting rules. Or not, they didn't change the rule, but the interpretation of the rule. And there was a lot of like upheaval, and people were angry at the rule change and whatnot. And it actually ended up good in the end. So it was like there was like a need for a clarification of the rules. Then they maybe overshot it a little bit, and then they went back. Maybe with this one there was a need for less float. I think some people would agree with that. Something happened. Maybe there could be a middle ground in the future. I don't know. We'll see. All right, that was it. For those of you who didn't know me before this video, I'm Alex, and as I said before, normally I make beach volleyball tutorials on this channel. I love our sport and I'm very passionate about it, and I also like details, especially important details. And if those are qualities that you appreciate and you're also someone that's looking to get better at the sport, I think there's a very high chance that you will like some of my tutorial videos as well. So over here I will put a couple of my most liked tutorial videos so that you can check them out if you want. Other than that, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section below, and click the like button, of course. If there's someone that wants me to go into even more details than I have in this video, let me know, and I'm happy to talk even more about this ball. All right, talk to you soon again. Bye.